Hello all, it's Franck. Welcome to this video. I'm here with Alex, Levand, whom you know well.
Hi everyone.
He is a coach, so we are both coaches. And actually, as I said, the moments of sharing are, for me, based in life, because I learn, because I share my knowledge, and because there's a sound, I'm taught things. So today we're going to talk about abs. Discussing abs means a slim waist. And for some, those who want thick, defined abs, okay, the six-pack, as we say, with, let's say, exercises that are suitable. For everyone, there are more or less difficult ones. I'm going to step it up a notch, but again, it's about showing you how I work. My abs, because I've worked on them in a somewhat unconventional way. I know I don't really like what's in the norm. These are things I've tested. I've been doing abs since I was 6 or 7 years old, imagine that. I have 50 years of abs behind me. So I found that the ones I'm going to show you have the best impact on me. That doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone. So abs are simple. First of all, I work on two parts. Many more. There are great rights. What you see there?
The chocolate bars.
The chocolate bars we aim for. There's the transverse muscle that wraps around. It's the corset muscle, the one that tightens the waist, which is very good for your health because it holds the organs behind the internal organs, the digestive organs. So it's key to your health. And there are the obliques, big and small obliques for rotations. For me, it's different. Not saying right. Once again, I've intentionally set aside the obliques because don't want them thicker. I work on them in martial arts because I throw a lot of side kicks and so on. I really work them a lot every day. So I didn't want to hypertrophy them because my waist would be slightly less defined. So I'm old school, Steve Reeves, where I prefer to have a slim waist to achieve a V-shaped body, but it should be strong. So I work a lot on the major rights. Those abs, and on the transverse, even more on the transverse because it's the muscle of breathing, of body support, it's the muscle of health. And for me, health is more important than appearance. I will do 4 exercises. The first exercise is called crunches and myotatic sit-ups. Because I'm going to put into action something you might not know. For those not athletic, I'm going to work with leg raises and some. To work the abdominal wall deeply on the rectus abdominis. Next, I'm going to work on a third exercise for the transverse, where I'll get into a 4-point position to focus on breathing. To engage it with hyperventilation, it's indeed quite unique. And the fourth exercise is the classic plank that you know, but I'm going to try to show you the right movements. Proper position avoids injury. So anyone can do the plank. The transverse, anyone can do it. Myotatic abs reflex. It's a bit harder. You'll see I do it a particular way. And leg raises on the pull-up bar. Now this is a level up. There's something for everyone. There's something for all. And for those challenged.
Do you usually do short sets or long sets? Well, I'm going to eliminate that.
So I'm always about provoking. You know, but actually I do both. You're disappointed, it's not even funny. I do both, but I focus more on sets of 8 to 12 repetitions. I'm failing, you need to know that I do 8 to 12 to build thickness. All right, then I sometimes do long sets to oxygenate because it's important and we burn a lot more fat. And I'm a proponent of shocking my body. So if I always do short sets, he's going to cry. So I work on the single set. I always stick to my principles. I push hard on a set. And generally per session, I do a straight leg exercise, a transverse exercise, and I switch. Rarely happens, I have many, but here we're only going to do 4. Always straight leg, transverse, and the lack is the different exercise. Then, I work to failure, I said, and I work with total concentration, completely and entirely. When I do abs, it's not enough. No, I mean total connection. I talk about it between brain and muscles. It's super important for me not to get injured and to really be in it. And I stress breathing, as during the exhale, when done properly, we're in abdominal contraction. Perfect. So there's really essentially a combination of breathing, concentration, and brain muscle connection, involving focus and... So now we're going to work on the incredibly well-known famous torso lift with myotatic. It's simple. As he said, Alex, I'm going to focus, I'm going to stretch my abs, and I'm going to activate that myotatic reflex that we all have in the human body to protect ourselves. So it's very hard physically. I'm going to take a moment to show you, but ensure your breathing is well synchronized. So first, you stretch as much as you possibly can, right here. I make sure that my elbows are definitely behind my ears here, so I can absolutely already feel the contraction. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to exhale slowly. while keeping my arms behind. I hold and I breathe in slowly. I hold for 2 seconds and I breathe. The very important thing is breathing. You see, I breathe slowly, I contract very slowly. And actually, the abs muscles are in constant contraction. That's why I do sets of 8 to 12 max. If you're really strong, you can definitely add some weight in your hands to increase the intensity. But key is keep your arms behind, bring them in front, no point. You always keep them behind as much as possible. That's really essential. Try it, you'll see, it's killer for the abs. Shoop promises chocolate. Alex is starting work, he's going to give it a try.
All right, let's go. Okay, I'm placing the ball at the level.
Oh, that's it.
Lower back, I prefer to place it more towards the middle or I get back pain.
Yeah, it depends on your physical build, your morphology. So you're going to place your arms behind you as far back as possible. Arms never go past your ears. So here, you inhale. You hold, stretch, and exhale, arms straight behind you. Very good, very good. Breathe out, hold, excellent. You hold, you count to 3, the top. And you slowly inhale while lowering, keep your arms behind.
Lifting my butt.
Yes, you need to feel the stretch. Yes, and you come back up. You go, same thing. Hold 3 seconds top. What you can do is lower with your arms behind you. And when you lower your arms, you also lower your hips to bring your butt closer to the ground. This is going to stretch your abs even more, you know what I mean? It's harder, you come back up, stretch your arms. You come back up, you hold for 3 seconds, then lower down. Great. So do you feel your abs well? It's pulling, you can feel it. There's no need to do sets of 50. We could do it, I wouldn't be able to do it.
For me, I won't be able to do what I just like to do after this exercise because I also practice it at home. I really like it. It's one. It's interesting for those who have specific back pain. Stretch one leg and bend a knee. It's a technique, like this actually. I stretch one leg actually, I bend the other one. Why? Because it allows me to have a neutral pelvis. Absolutely. Having a bent knee will promote a posterior pelvic tilt. Exactly. Having one leg stretched out is actually the anterior pelvic tilt. So mixing the two re-neutralizes your pelvis, and I think it's a good position to have like this. So, always keeping your butt lifted. The same exercise as Frank?
Good option.
There you go. I'm going down just like that. And what's important to clarify is that during the descent, it's not about style. You go down and there, you put everything down. For me at least, I think I can feel it better when I maintain a constant contraction. Absolutely. Both during the descent and during the tension. I agree. And especially during the descent, what we call continuous tension. And having both hands behind the head, you're absolutely right. I think he's right because it creates extra load. Of course. And what I also like to do if I have neck pain is to just place one hand behind my head. For example, as support where there, I have all the weight of my head on my fingers as if I were holding a bowling ball. I have a bowling ball on my fingers. I hold my head to avoid cervical pressure. And I have one hand behind. On the other hand, to maintain that tension. As if you had weighted yourself down with your hand. So there, I do the same. I inhale like Franck. I keep the tension. I tighten my abs. Engaging mutative reflex, that's it. And during the ascent, I tighten my abs. There you go. I'm connecting my brain to my abdominal muscles. I focus on it. And especially during the ascent while exhaling, I really think about pulling in my belly to engage the transverse to avoid potential pain in the lower back.
Perfect, go. So there, I took my shirt off. Naked, no, not for the exhibitionist, but simply to see the abdominal contraction. Right? It's educational. So I'm doing one. We did first exercise where we triggered mutative reflex. I really felt them. Alex too, I read. Now I'm going to work on the pull-up bar. The difficulty is higher, because now I have to roll and not make any jerky movements. The goal isn't to do pull-ups. It's not about slimming the legs either. I need to roll my spine to be in contraction. I'm going to show you. When there, you're already connecting well. And I'm going to lift my legs up here. And I'm just going to roll here. I'm going to show you. Look at the abs. There. They contract and roll. We can increase the difficulty by extending the legs a bit. So here I'm doing sets of 8, 12. When it's perhaps too easy, I stay. Once again, you need to connect with your muscle. And now come on, Mr. Alex, let's go. Oh.
Well, I'm just testing an exercise, so I'm going up.
Very good, you're contracting. And it's the odd part on the way down. Really, that's where I focus the most. There you go. Curling, always. Good. You're doing variation. He's going to activate obliques. Here, we're in promo. Notice he's breathing. You can notice he's breathing well. It's on the exhale that we go up in the concentric phase. And he's inhaling as we descend. Well done. Perfect. So he's activating oblique. You see, indeed, he's always under constant tension. To show muscles. Feeling.
It's tough. This work, it's the abdominal belt. On the rectus abdominis, I did a little variation to engage the obliques. You go, that's how you build the six-pack. As Ken.
So now we're going to work the third exercise for the transverse, the corset. One keeps a slim waist, so it's simple. You're going to exhale while contracting your abs. You exhale, you contract abs. Oh, you. So I contract much. And once I've completely emptied the air, pull abdomen. And I hold my breath for 10-15 seconds. I'll do it again. Abdominal contraction. And I pull in. Show you how to pull in. Impressive. So what's important is to empty the air as much as possible. Contract your abs fully, fully, fully. And only after that we pull in. About 15 seconds we breathe normally once, but be careful, you might hyperventilate. You see, I'm out of breath, you might feel dizzy, so stop, don't push it, you need to be used to it. Why? Because we activate, inhale, exhale, pulling in, we work on the diaphragm, protects our abdomen. You see, the goal is to achieve a really slim waist. And of course, you feel better in terms of your organs because you're massaging your internal organs. There's a health aspect, once again, and of course, an aesthetic aspect. All right, now it's your turn, Alex.
Let's go. Actually, what you're doing here is the stomach vacuum.
That's right, it's your channel. You're a scientist.
What I like to do is, during the exhale, I round my back, like you said. We can do it too. To certainly engage the abs even more, I don't do it, but you can do it.
There you go. Contract your abs, your abs. Once you've exhaled, after you've expelled the air, you pull in the wall. 30 years of seeing. When you feel no air for 15 seconds, that's good. You take a breath, a complete inhale and exhale, and then you get back into position.
It's heating.
Yeah, bend the belly.
Of course it hurts. It doesn't look like it, but it hurts.
That's what makes these movements the most effective for me indeed. There you go, it feels good. See, he's pulling in his abdomen. So there's a real deep massage of the digestive organs, which is very important for health. We mentioned it earlier. We talked about the intestines, but it's really important. It's a natural massage. It's a position, and it's a posture that we use in Hatha Yoga. There you go. Right, that drains, you see, very quickly. It's hot. You can see the head dropping. Lift yourself.
We gently and slowly pulled the belly button towards the spine, carefully and with precision. Just like there's a vacuum on the lower back, it pulls in the belly button.
Tempting. Do it. Enjoy.
I exhale. I round my back a bit. I like it.
There.
Hand shapes.
So I often recommend doing so. Between 8 and 10 is already perfect, already 4 or 5. We're starting to feel out of breath. Alex only did it 3 times yesterday. The good feeling says, that's good, that's super, well done, it feels amazing.
It's good.
The 4th exercise is planking. It's classic, it's mainly for beginners. After that, I'll show some variations. The first one is simple. Squeeze your legs tightly, keep your back straight. It's key. It's the classic. I stay for about 90 seconds. 1 minute 30. When I'm usually done, I lie on my side. So I make sure I'm doing it right. I'm standing up straight. To the left, to the right. 90 seconds, same. Now if you're strong, and this is too easy for you, you move your forearms forward. I do the same. You're done. Thanks. The point, once again, is not to have sessions that last too long. So I base it on 60 seconds, 90 seconds for each movement. When it's too easy, I increase the intensity. Anyone can do that. We adjust based on your current abilities.
Go. That's the normal level. Go. And like you, when I like to complicate things for the body, it's the exercise. I announce a cut at the top. That's it. You really feel the contraction in your abs? Absolutely. And I really do it. The super exercise. Like you do, but I really do it step by step, or really for a few weeks, yeah. Because I find it really complicated to fit it into a circuit training, but I often like to finish, you know, like this.
Good.
I'm engaging the belly system.
Squeeze your buttocks tightly, contract the muscles.
We don't have our buttocks too high. Not hips down. It's in your hands. We're targeting the lower back problem. We stay here.
Perfect, that's the right position.
Go.
You're well engaged. These are indeed really the exercises for health, beyond muscle hypertrophy.
But there's something you can also do to make it more challenging. If you have 2 water bottles, you can rest them on your forearms and make dynamic movements like this. Even doing dynamic movements, you move your arms and legs to really maintain mobility and really transmit. The plank exercise is useful. Planking is good. Specifically, but better, functionally. Try moving arms with water bottles on forearms. It targets transverse muscles, adding functionality. And it's true that we're constantly on the move, we're always moving. So, moving your arms back and forth with water bottles on your forearms, believe it or not, give it a try. You'll see. It will really target your transverse muscles, and as a result, you'll have a more functional aspect. I think like that. Then, there are people who have specialists or other internet users who might not necessarily agree on doing sit-ups. It's worth noting that, you know, crunches, some of them are really intense. They demonize exercises. Then you need to know that if you do it wrong with all exercises, it's bad for you. There are what we call hyperpressive and hypopressive exercises. So hyperpressive exercises newcomers to core stability. The stomach vacuum for a flat belly and engage the transverse. What about hyperpressives? In fact, it actually has a bad reputation for causing organ prolapse. So sure, what I do is adjust the middle. I'm not encouraging people to work out, not every day either. But maybe once or twice a week. Anyway, that's my methodology. I really stress the technique. When you do crunches, you can do them properly. For example, when you lift your torso, you should pull in your belly button at the same time, imagining that your belly button is being drawn towards your spine. It's impossible. It's not actually being sucked in, but that's the image you should have to pull in your belly, exhaling at the same time. Because when you exhale through your mouth, you engage the transverse, which is an expiratory muscle, and that helps protect you from any potential pain you might have, especially issues related to organ prolapse. Anyway, that was my technique. You'll see more about it on my channel.
So why are abs often neglected? We do them at the end of the session. That's a mistake. In fact, abs are part of the health muscles. They protect the back and support the spine. So the very simple principle is that abs involve a curling motion. You need spine curling. You need in this spot. So, yes, I see a lot of them in the gyms who wedge their feet to activate the abs. In fact, they work the psoas, iliac. The iliopsoas is not your focus, pretty strong ones. These junk muscles. On top of that, we collect a lot of waste. No, you really need to isolate them. Isolate them, focus. You said it well. There's a technique we see, we're pulling the belly button. And you'll see sometimes, after 7 to 8 repetitions of a movement, when it's done right, it really burns the abs. While I could do without crunches, I'm definitely against crunches where I'm absolutely hooked up because I work in the evening. I'm against sophisticated machines. I'm all for the basics that I can do at a hotel, anywhere. There's a tree, a branch around, we can put it on the ground. There you go, I'm really into basic stuff because I need to do them anywhere. I go to the gym, there we enjoyed. I rarely go to the gym because I go to breathe and see friends. But we can do it anywhere.
And in fact, we agreed on this topic because we have a common exercise we're going to present together. He mentioned it earlier. It's the methodical crunches. And that, just for a quick explanation in a few sentences, why is it interesting? So, it's a level. For those who are already familiar with muscle contraction in the abdominal area, it's really interesting, that thing, because when you place it in the middle of your back or towards the lower back, for those who are a bit more experienced and who don't have any pain in the lower back, it's going to encourage you to contract even more. You're going to contract because of the movement, but also because of your position on this ball. Because you're off balance, your butt is lifted off the ground. So that means your body, your abs, have no choice but to contract to keep you from falling flat on your face. Why is that? It's also called tactical abs. I explained that to you, it's a really funny story. You went to see the doctor, and you definitely had the hammer test on your knee, and then you're going to lift your... It's simply because when you place the ball on your back, you're going to fully stretch your abs, and reflexively, the myotatic reflex kicks in, causing your abs to contract, so you don't fall. So, in addition to the movement, you're automatically going to generate a significant contraction of your abs like that to maintain your balance, and that's exactly why the exercise is complicated, and it leads to an excellent workout for hypertrophy. And so, to get that famous six-pack, of course, you need a good diet. Next to it, we agree. Really, truly impressive musculature. Impressive, Franck, natural. Taking anything. The tall